guys, welcome back to my channel. So I know that I was supposed to do a bronzy look from my last video, but I just felt like going into some color today. It just felt right, and I really wanted to try this new Oceanic palette by Ace Beauty. So if you're interested in seeing how I got this look, then just go ahead and keep watching. We're gonna jump right in. I'm gonna start off priming my eyes using the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer in the shade C12. I'm gonna use this to carve underneath my brows and then just spread it across my eyelid to kind of act as an eye primer for today. So I was really excited to use this new palette from Ace Beauty. This is their new Oceanic palette, and it has a beautiful array of like greens and blues. So I've been dying to try this because I did buy it not too long ago, and when it finally came in the mail, I was just like super into these colors. So to start off this look, I first went in with the shade Lagoon, and this is like a deep navy blue. So because I'm doing a two-toned look, I'm gonna apply this on the inner half of my crease, and this is gonna be like our deepest, darkest color for this look. So I'm just gonna really make sure to pack that on with a small little tapered brush. I'm using my trusty Morphe M507 to apply this. And then on the outer half of my crease, I'm gonna go in with the shade Pacific, which is more of like a deep emerald green type of color. And I'm gonna apply that on the other side using another clean Morphe M507. And again, I'm just gonna make sure to really pack this color on. I wanna make sure I get as much pigmentation as possible. Before I move into blending out these colors, I'm going to use my Fenty Beauty blotting powder and just kind of set the base right above those crease colors that I applied. So that way when I go in and kind of blend out those edges of those darker colors, it kind of blends a little bit more smoothly. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start blending out that dark blue first. So to blend that out, I'm gonna use the shade Fiji. This is more of like a minty kind of aqua blue type color. And I'm using a Morphe M506 to blend this out. I'm gonna use really light pressure and just gently graze the edges of that dark blue to kind of blend out and diffuse that harsh line. And then to blend out Pacific, which is that dark green, I'm going to use the shade Algae, which is the lime green on the bottom row. Then to cut my crease, I'm going to go back in with that Makeup Revolution concealer. This one is in the shade C1. I like to use lighter concealers to cut my crease because all the colors that you apply after it are going to appear much brighter and more vibrant that way. So I'm going to go ahead and create a halo type of cut crease. So I'm not going to take the edges all the way to the outer and inner corners of my eye. I'm going to keep those spaces open so that way I can apply eyeshadow in those areas after. Then to blend out the edges of that halo, I'm going to go back in with Lagoon and Pacific, which is the darker colors that we use on the crease, and apply those onto the outer and inner corners of the eye. I'm placing Lagoon on the inner part of the eye because that's where we placed it onto the crease, and then Pacific is going to go on the outer corner. I'm then going to start applying my lid colors. I'm going to start off with the shade Mykonos and apply this on the inner and outer part of the lid. And then for the center of that halo, I'm gonna go in with a single shadow from Jdglow Cosmetics. This is one of their Galaxy shadows in the shade Bora. I love these shadows so much. They're super pigmented and perfect for like an eye topper or when you want some extra shimmer in your eye look. So I'm gonna place that in the very center of my halo. I'm going to do some extra blending using Algae and Fiji with my Morphe M507 brush. I just want to make sure those darker colors are blending really smoothly into the lid space. So I'm going to place those in between the darker color and lighter colors on the lid. Then for a little bit of extra shimmer, I'm going to go in with the Stila Little White Lies liquid shadow in the shade Mint Myth. And I'm only using a small amount of this. And I'm going to place this directly in the center of my halo. Next, I want to add a couple of coats of mascara. Today, I'm using the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. Then for lashes, I'm going to be using Crystal Lashes. These are in the style Audrina. These are so pretty. They're super fluffy and long. And you guys know I love a dramatic lash. I do also have a coupon code for you guys. If you type in Tiffany in all caps and you get 20% off of your purchase. Yeah! So feel free to use my coupon code if you guys are interested in checking out these lashes. We're going to pause with the eyes for a second and move on to skin. I'm going to prep my skin first using some Farsali products they sent me. I'm first going to use the Rose Gold Beauty Oil. I've been loving this like underneath my foundation and everything. I feel like it just makes my foundation apply so much more like smoothly and everything. So I'm going to add a few drops of that onto my skin and just spread it using my fingers. And then to prime, I'm going to use the Farsali Skintune Blur. I love this stuff so much. It just makes your skin look like it has like a filter over it. So if you have larger pores like I do, I feel like you're going to love this stuff. For foundation today, I'm using the Black Opal True Color Pore Perfecting Foundation in Warm Almond, and I mixed that using the Jouer Essential High Coverage Foundation in the shade Bronzed. I was going to use this mixture all over my face, but I added a little bit too much of that Jouer one, so I just ended up using this mixture on the center, and then I went in with the Black Opal Foundation by itself on the outside perimeter of my face. Once my foundation is all blended out, I'm going to go ahead and do some color correcting using the Danessa Myricks Vision Cover Cream. And this is in the shade TP01. It's like a light peachy color, so it works really well for me as a color corrector underneath the eyes. Because it is a little bit lighter, it still gives you that brightness, but the undertone of it kind of helps color correct. So I'm going to apply that directly underneath the eyes and then just blend that out using a brush as well. Then for concealer, I'm going to be using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Sucre. I'm not going to add too much of this product because I already have like that color corrector underneath and that's pretty full coverage. So I'm pretty much just adding this to bring back those golden tones. Alright guys, so I was gonna give up on the Fenty setting powder, but your girl is consistent. We love Fenty and we want to use all of her products. So over the last couple of days, I tested out with like tons of different concealers, applied it different ways. You guys gave me lots of advice about this powder in the comments in my last video. So I kind of took those into consideration as well. And I finally got it to work and figured out how to make this powder work. So you want to use as little of this powder as possible and gently just build it up that way. So So what I did was I pour a little bit onto my cap, and then I literally knock all the product off of my brush, and I gently, very, very gently apply this powder onto the under eyes. You guys told me in the comments that this powder was more so made to do like all over face setting, not necessarily for under the eyes, and that it's really, really matte. So as I was applying this powder, I really thought about that type of stuff, and I was like, man, if this powder is for all over face, I would imagine that you're not supposed to use a ton of it. And even though I don't like to use a lot of powder in general, I would imagine that you probably need even less than that. So I literally used the smallest amount as possible and applied it that way, and it looked beautiful. I love it now. After all of that stressing, I finally got this powder to work. So as long as you use a very, 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 very small amount of this out of a time and kind of builds it up into like the desired finish, I feel like it should work out for you guys. Because I know a lot of people were saying too that they didn't feel like it worked for them either. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. We stand this powder now. It looks really beautiful. There's just a specific way that I have to apply it to make it work for me. So while I was rambling on about that Fenty powder, I went ahead and added some mineralized skin finish and medium golden on the under eyes as well to brighten up that area too. And then I added my bronzer. I used the Guerlain Terra-cotta bronzer in the shade number 7. Now I'm going to go ahead and move back to the eyes. I'm first going to go in with Lagoon and Pacific and add those to the lower lash line. Lagoon is going to go on the inner part of the lash line, and then Pacific is going to go on the outer half of the lash line. So that way the green stays on one side of the eye and the blues stay on the other side. And then to blend those out, I'm going to go back into Fiji and Algae, using Algae to blend out the dark green and Fiji to blend out the dark blue. And then to brighten the inner corner, I'm going to go back in with that shade Bora from Jdglow Cosmetics. To fill in the lash line, I wanted to use a dark blue eye pencil, so I'm using Melt Cosmetics All Day Everyday Liner in the shade Neptune. And then finally, I'm going to add some mascara to my lower lashes. I'm going to go back in with that Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I'm then going to add some brows. As usual, I'm going to use the Anastasia Dipbrow Pomade in the shade Ebony. Can you guys believe that I'm almost done with this brow pomade? Like, I've never done that before. Usually they expire before I can even finish them because there's so much product. But that's how much I love this brow pomade. I literally just use this to fill in my brows. And then to set my brow hairs in place and make sure they don't move around, I'm going to use the Anastasia Dipbrow Gel in the shade Dark Brown. Next, I want to start highlighting all those high points of my face. So I'm using this Laura Geller highlighter in the shade Gilded Honey. This is definitely like an oldie but a goodie. I used to use this highlighter all the time when I first started getting into like super glam makeup looks. But even now, it still does something for me. I feel like it looks so good on the skin. It doesn't create any unnecessary texture, and it just has a really, really pretty glow to it. Right after, I'm going to apply my setting spray. Today, I'm using Urban Decay's All Nighter setting spray to lock everything into place, so that way nothing transfers and the makeup stays in place for the rest of the day. I'm then going to add some lips. I'm going to start lining my lips using the NYX Slide On Glide On Lip Liner in the shade Urban Cafe. Don't sleep on these liners, guys. They're so good. They definitely do exactly what they're called. They glide onto the lips super smoothly, and they come in a huge variety of colors. I think they just extended the line actually, and they're definitely like reminiscent of like some high-end lip liners. These definitely remind me of like the Urban Decay lip liners as well as the MAC Pro Longwear ones. They are a little bit more pricey than the original NYX lip liners as well as the Suede Matte line, but they're totally worth it. Then to fill in my lips, I'm going to be using a mixture of 2 liquid lipsticks from Anastasia. These are Starfish and Naked. And I'm going to blend those into my lip liner using a brush. Then last but not least, I'm going to add some gloss. Today I'm using a new gloss that I picked up from the drugstore. This is the Essence Shine 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 lip gloss in the shade Bright On. It has more of like a cooler undertone to it, so it kind of balances out the warm tones of the lip liner and lipstick. And that's pretty much it for this look, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more makeup tutorials, and don't forget to hit that bell so that way you get a notification anytime I make a new upload. Thank you again for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.